In this video, I'm going to show you everything it takes to soft mod your original Xbox. And check this out, we're going to be using this little lady right here, the Crystal Xbox Limited Edition, as a demonstration. And it all starts right now. Hi, Blaine Locklear here. To level up your video game hardware and software through restorations, repairs, mods, product reviews, and other video game content, do that by subscribing. Alright, let's get your Xbox modded up the right way. In order to soft mod your Xbox, you'll need access to a USB drive that's compatible with your console. The Xbox can be a little bit, as my dad would have said, fickle about which drives it will accept. The Xbox USB compatibility list, linked in the description below, will help you determine whether or not the USB drive you intend to use will work with an Xbox console. A general guideline for this is to look for USB drives that are less than 4 GB total in size and support the USB-A format. Or if you want to just skip the 9 months and get straight to the baby, you can get one right here from Jailbreak Systems. They guarantee their USB drives to work with Xbox consoles. You'll also need a means of connecting your USB drive to your Xbox. Jailbreak Systems to the rescue here again with their Xbox to USB-A adapter. It plugs right into the memory card port on your controller, and you can plug your USB drive in and read it natively on your Xbox. You'll also need a game that's capable of running the Softmod save file that you'll be putting on the USB drive. In this video, I'm going to be using 007 Agent Under Fire. Make sure that you get this off of a source like eBay so that you don't pay too much for it. For example, on Amazon, they were selling as high as $97. Ouch! Go ahead and power on your Xbox console and go to the main menu. From here, you'll need to scroll up to Memory using the D-pad and then select Memory with the A button. What this does is it takes you to the list of drives that you can access on your Xbox console. Currently, the only one you have is the hard drive internally on your device. Go ahead and plug in your USB drive into your Xbox either using a cable or the controller adapter that you saw earlier. What's going to happen is the screen will go dark because it's formatting your USB drive to work in your Xbox. Make sure whatever drive you've put into your Xbox that you do not want any data that's on it backed up, because it does not give you a warning message before it formats the drive. Once you put it in, it formats immediately. Now, as you see on the right here, you have the option for an additional drive in controller port 4, which just happens to be where I have it plugged in, and 50,000 blocks available on the drive. Pretty cool. With your USB drive now formatted in Xbox format, or what's called FATX format, you can go all the way back to the Xbox main menu, power off the console, and remove the USB drive, but don't put it in your computer just yet. You'll need to download the Xbox Softmodding tool from the GitHub, linked in the description below. Among other great tools, it has the save files you need for the soft mod to work. While you're on the website, consider a small donation to the creator of this software. It's donations to creators like this that help make these products possible. Then scroll down to the download section and click the download link shown here. You'll be taken over to a Google Drive where you're able to download the package. Just hover over it with the mouse, right-click, and in the list of menu choices, scroll all the way down toward the bottom to where you see download and then click on it. Be aware that it can take several minutes for it to compress up all of this stuff that's in this folder, and then you'll be able to download it directly to your computer. In order to write files to that newly formatted USB drive, you'll need a piece of software called Explorer 360. It's available and linked in the description below. Scroll down until you see an orange title heading that says Explorer 360 v0.9 Beta 6. Click on the orange title shown here to get to the download section. On the downloads page, you'll have to look at a couple of Xbox website related links in order to activate the download. Hey, everybody gotta pay the bills. Click on the download button and let the page load up, and when you're done with the page, close it out. You'll see the second download button activate. Go over to that button and click on it as well, and you'll see another Xbox website related page. These are legitimate safe pages. When you're done looking at them, close them out with the X button. And underneath those two original white download buttons, you'll see the download for the file you need. Click the download button shown here. Explorer 360 needs the MSVCR71 DLL file, and it may or may not be with your version of Windows. You can download it from DLL Files, and I've got this link for you in the description below. Don't mess with any of this stuff at the top of the page, it's pretty much just ads. Scroll down on the page until you see the download link shown right here. Click on this link to download the DLL file. You'll get the Now Downloading page, and it will download the file to your computer. All three of the downloads are compressed zip files, and you'll need to extract each of them in order to access the contents. Go ahead and right-click on each file individually and extract them to your desktop. This isn't really the kind of thing that requires extensive explanation, other than to say I recommend when you extract each of these files and get the folders, go ahead and delete the zip files just to eliminate clutter and any confusion moving forward. Excellent. Now that you've got them all unzipped, let's go ahead and deal with them one by one. We can deal with this one and get rid of it pretty quick. Just double-click into it and go ahead and grab the ms-vcr71 DLL file and copy it. Take this file by going back one level in the directory until you get back to your Downloads folder and go into the Explorer 360 folder you downloaded. Inside that folder, you'll see just one file, which is the exe file for Explorer 360. You just want to paste the ms-vcr71.dll file right here into this folder. Explorer 360 needs this file in order to operate correctly. Now back at your Downloads folder, you can go ahead and delete the ms-vcr71 folder. You're not going to need it any longer. Alright, let's slow our roll just a little bit here because getting these files in the right place on the USB drive is going to be critical to your success. Go into the 𝐂𝐄𝐀𝐏𝐄𝐑𝐿 Softmod folder that you downloaded here, and then drill into the next folder to get to the list of options. You'll see a number of different things here. The one that you want to focus on is called Xbox Softmodding Tool, and it's a compressed folder. You'll need to extract this folder right here in order to access its contents. We'll take a look at some of these other folders and what they contain in a separate video. The point of this video is just to get you set up on the Softmod. Once you've got this file uncompressed, go ahead and delete the zip file to eliminate confusion and clutter. Now double-click on the Xbox Softmodding Tool folder that you just uncompressed. Inside that folder, you'll see a number of different things. The one that you want to get here is called Softmodding Package. Go up to Softmodding Package and double-click into this folder. Inside this folder, you're going to find a number of zip files. They correspond to the game that you intend to use in order to activate the softmod, or run what's called the exploit, to access the save game files. As you can see here, they're named after each of the games. In this case, in this video, I'm using 007 Agent Under Fire, but you want to pick the one that corresponds to the game and region for the game you're using. 007 Agent Under Fire, 𝐂𝐸𝐿, Splinter Cell, or Tony Hawk 4. Select the zip file that corresponds with the name of the game that you intend to use for the exploit and extract the contents of that zip file. And then once you're done, again, delete the zip file itself in order to eliminate clutter and confusion. When you start dealing with this many files and folders together, it can get confusing very quickly. There's also a zip file here called softmodsave.zip. You need to extract the contents of this file regardless of which game you intend to use. You see, the save game file is what activates the exploit, and the softmod save file is what installs the softmod onto your Xbox. And again, once you have extracted the zip file, delete the zip file to eliminate clutter and confusion. These are the things that you're going to need right here. You need a save game file and the softmod save file. We'll be shuffling these files over to the USB drive in just a moment, so let me show you an easy way to deal with this when it comes to shuffling the files around in Explorer 360. Resize your File Explorer window to give yourself enough room to access a portion of your desktop, like here on the left side. Go into the Save Game folder you intend to use, and then go into the UData folder. Inside that folder, you'll see another folder with an 8-digit number. Right-click and copy that folder. That's the one that's got the save game data. Then just go to your desktop and paste that folder right on your desktop. This will make it easy to find moving forward. Now you can go back in File Explorer until you get to where those save game zip files are and the ones that you uncompressed. Then navigate to the Softmod save folder you uncompressed and go into the UData folder. Inside the UData folder, you'll see another folder with an 8-digit number. Copy that folder, then navigate to your desktop and paste it right on your desktop. These are going to be both the folders that you need, and you'll see in a minute it's going to make it super easy to copy this stuff right over into Explorer 360. With your folders prepped and ready to copy over to the USB drive, go back to your Downloads folder. In the Downloads folder, you'll need to navigate to the folder for Explorer 360. Inside Explorer 360, you'll see an .exe file that you'll need to launch. But this is really important, and don't gloss this over. Right-click on the file first, don't launch it first. Right-click and select Properties. This file was made in the era of Windows 7 or so if you don't try to run this in compatibility mode and you're using Windows 10, it's not going to work correctly. Click on the Compatibility tab. Then come down and make sure the box is checked for Run this program in compatibility mode, and in the list of drop-down choices, select Windows 7. Once you have this selected, just click on Apply in the bottom right corner to apply this setting. Now you're ready to launch Explorer 360. Navigate to the Explorer 360 .exe file and double-click to launch it. When Explorer 360 comes up to the main interface, go ahead and insert your USB drive that you formatted in your Xbox. You can expect that immediately Windows will start to complain that it doesn't recognize the drive format and you need to format it. Click Cancel, then click OK on the message that pops up, and then make sure that you minimize Explorer 360 because there's a pop underneath it that you need to also click Cancel on. Then once you've cleared all of the messages from Windows, maximize Explorer 360 again. Now you're ready to load this drive into Explorer 360. Go up to where it says Drive and click on it. In the list of drop-down choices, select Open, and then slide over to the right and pick Hard Drive or Mem Card, and click on it. You should see a new listing for Partition 0 pop up toward the top left, and that is your USB drive. Click on Partition 0 to select it. Remember those two folders you copied over to your desktop? Now's the time. Select them both, and now you can just drag and drop them in the right pane in Explorer 360, and it will dump everything over to the USB drive in the right place. See, this is why we set everything up this way, to make the transfer process smooth and simple, and to make sure everything goes right. Once it's done, go ahead and go back over to Drive and click on Close. What we're going to do is actually close the drive out in Explorer 360 and then go right back in and reopen it again. This is just to make sure everything copied over correctly. Go back over to Drive, go to Open, and pick Hard Drive or Mem Card. And if you see the two folders there, everything went to plan. Perfect. To safely eject your new creation from your computer, go up to Drive, and then slide down and select Close by clicking on it. Now go to Drive again and slide all the way down to Exit. Go down to the bottom right corner of Windows, select More Options if necessary, right-click on the USB drive stick that's shown here, select your drive to safely eject it. Once that's done, you're done with your PC. You can put the USB drive back into your adapter on your Xbox and power on your Xbox system. But don't put the game disc in just yet, because we've got some copy and paste work to do on your Xbox. If you're getting value from this video, make sure you subscribe while you're here. We have a tremendous community of gamers, and you belong here with us. Alright, let's transition over to your Xbox. At the Xbox main menu, use the D-pad to scroll up to get to Memory, and then select Memory with the A button. At the list of drives, you'll see the same ones you saw before, the Xbox internal hard drive, and whatever controller port you plugged in the USB drive. Use the D-pad to navigate to that USB drive and then select it with the A button. Now you'll have on the USB drive several different save game files. They're going to be the ones that you copied over the PC to the USB drive. Scroll down to the first game, which in this case is 007 Agent Under Fire, but you have to also scroll to the right to get to the save game. On the left is the name of the game, on the right are the list of save files. Use the D-pad to scroll to the right with the green glowing cursor and select the save game with the A button. Then in the list of choices, make sure that you are on Copy and select Copy with the A button. It's going to ask you where you want to copy to. There's only one choice, the internal hard drive. Select it with A. Then press the B button to go back, and you'll be back at the list of game saves. Use the D-pad to scroll down until you get to the one for the Softmod. Remember, you have to move to the right with the green glowing circle to select the save. Select it with the A button, and again select Copy with A. And at the list of choices for where you want to copy to, there's only going to be one, Xbox hard drive. Select Xbox hard drive with the A button. When the copy process is completed, you'll want to make sure everything made it over to the hard drive correctly. To do this, press the B button, and then press it again until you get back to the list of drive locations. Make sure you use the D-pad to go back to the center to select Xbox hard drive, and select it with the A button. Inside Xbox hard drive, you should now see listings for the saved games that you copied over from the USB drive. Once you've confirmed that the saves copied over from USB to the internal hard drive correctly, press the B button to go back, and now you can remove the USB drive from your Xbox. With the USB drive removed, press the B button until you get back to the Xbox main menu. Now you're ready to load your exploit game, in this case 007 Agent Under Fire. Pop open the disk tray, put in the game, and close the disk tray to launch the game. At the start screen for the game, press the Start button. Then use the A button for Select Mission. And at the list of mission choices, select the very first one. It's called Trouble in Paradise. Press the A button to select the mission. Then you can just bypass each of the following screens by pressing the A button at each one to skip ahead through each point, until you get to the load screen, which should take just a moment to complete. Once you see the helicopter pop up, press the Start button on the controller. You'll get a pop-up menu with a list of several choices. Use the D-pad to scroll down to Quit Mission, and select Quit Mission with the A button. Use the D-pad to move the flashing highlight over to Yes, and select Yes with the A button. This will take you back to the Mission Select screen. At the Mission Select screen, press the B button to go back one level to the game's main menu. From here, use the D-pad to scroll down to Load Mission and select Load Mission with the A button. Then on the option for Xbox hard drive, select it with the A button. This is going to launch the Softmod process. And it doesn't get much easier than this from here out. All you have to do is press A when you're prompted through the process. Like right now, for example. Go ahead, press A. The softmodding process will start to do its magic automatically. Then you'll be prompted with this message. What these prompts are telling you is that the process is going to make a backup of your EEPROM or your erasable programmable read-only memory, and it's going to save it to your hard drive in a folder. Make sure to back this file up, and we'll talk about how to do that in a future video. It also needs to restart at this point. At each prompt, press the OK button to proceed forward, and at the third one, your system will restart. When your system restarts and you see the green glob, press the Eject button to take the game out so it doesn't boot into the game. This time you want it to boot directly off the hard drive into the remainder of the Softmod process. When this main menu comes up, there are some important things to check out. First, take a look at this box on the right side. Most importantly, it tells you which version of the Xbox motherboard your system has. As this is a Crystal model Xbox, this is a version 1.6, and that has a lot to do with what mod processes you might consider following moving forward in the future. Let's take a look at some settings you should inspect and consider changing. Use the D-pad to move the highlight down in the menus to System and select it with the A button. You'll have a variety of system choices that you can modify. Use the D-pad to scroll down to Settings and select Settings with the A button. The first thing that I'd recommend that you take a look at are the video settings. Use the D-pad to scroll down until you get to Video Display and select it with the A button. Here, just like in the original Xbox menu, you can make decisions about what resolutions you want your games to play at. I have an HDMI adapter here, so I'm eligible to use 480p and 720p, and optionally 1080i. Although I find that 720p generally does best. Once you make the decisions about the resolutions you want your games to play in, use the D-pad to scroll down until you get to Save. Select Save with the A button, and take note that you'll have to reboot your Xbox for any extended resolutions to take effect. Press A to close this message, then use the D-pad to scroll down to exit and press A. From here, I'd recommend that you scroll up to System and select it with A. Yeah, I know, System, Settings, System. But that's how it works. You can make key setting changes here, including things like changing from Celsius to Fahrenheit and other settings that may be applicable to your region. I'd recommend that you take a few minutes to familiarize yourself with these settings, as they can add a lot of value to your Xbox. Once you're done, use the D-pad to scroll down to Save and select with A, then scroll down to Exit and select with A. Once you've made the system changes you'd like to make, press the B button to go back to the interface main menu. From here, use the D-pad to scroll down to Skins and select it with A. You can change the look and feel of the interface from here. I recommend going up and trying out the one that says Default. This is for UnleashX, which is a well-established front-end skin for Xbox. Use the D-pad to navigate the menu bar to the skin of your choice, and select it with the A button to activate it. To save the change, press the Start button on the Xbox controller. And whammo! You'll be in the new interface, which in this case is UnleashX. With your newly soft-modded Xbox, there's a lot of great stuff that you can do, including installing classic game emulators. Check out this video. It's shown on screen in the desktop browsing experience and linked in the pinned comment and description below to learn how to install Emustation and start playing classic games on your modded Xbox. I'll look forward to seeing you there in the next video.